Would love to talk some fantasy football with you guys. So here we go. We're going to dive right in. We're going to talk some ball. And I hope everyone's having a nice night. Let's see what we got going. Yeah. Let's see what we got going. How is everybody doing tonight? We surviving? We thriving? We having a good evening? Let's talk some fantasy football on Halloween. See, I got Mason saying Shakir or Tetero and McMillan at the flex. Probably going to be leaning Tet, man. I know Shakir's been playing pretty well, but I'll take Tet here. I'll take Tet. How we doing, everybody? What's new? What's new? Everyone got some fun Halloween out here? Mason, thanks for the follow, my man. You know, we gonna grind on a Halloween night for you. Talk some football. Maybe have some heated Seahawks discussions. We'll see. We'll see where the night takes us. But glad I could come in with you guys and see how everyone is doing. Yep. Fire off your questions. Let's talk some ball, man. I was just breaking down an entire roster today, getting some roster reviews done, helping some folks out, hopefully moving people in the right direction here for their Dynasty teams. If you guys are a Dynasty player, definitely let me know, and I could break some teams down. You know, I could break some teams down. Let's see. Chris, what's up, man? He says start Diggs or Higgins. Probably going to lean Stephon Diggs. Pickens for Brian Thomas Jr. and Stevenson. Yeah, I'll take the package here. Stiffy, what's up, Stiffy? How are ya? Stiffy says, in Devontae Adams or Ibuka, full point PPR rest of the season. Whew. Probably going to be going with Devontae Adams rest of the season here, honestly. All right, Brian's in here. I'm going to pin you up, Brian. I got Jay Kizzle over here saying there's a report. Carter's taking first-team reps in practice. I have Bam starting at the flex. Dude, pretty sure they released Michael Carter. Yeah, I think it's Bam. It's Bam, dude. I'm 90% sure. Let me double check. I thought I got an alert the other day that Michael Carter was not being used. No, I guess he is still on the Cardinals, but no, it's going to be Bam. It's going to be Bam, dude. You got to trust the process here. Check Carter on Sleeper? I know I did, but I think that doesn't matter. I think I thought they released him. Hold on, let me double check. Let me double check here. Yeah, I guess you're seeing he's taking first team reps. No, I think I'm still rolling Bam Knight here, dude. I'm rolling Bam Knight. I'm fine with it. This is what they reported last time, though, and he didn't end up doing anything. So I'm really not fazed by that. I'm really not fazed. JMO or Addison. This is Jordan Addison by a mile for me. I was able to manage a trade, Tez Johnson and Troy Franklin for Justin Jefferson. That should have been vetoed. That's one of the worst trades I've ever heard. Good for you. I'm happy for you. I'm glad that worked out. That is an insane haul that you got there. Max, what's up, Max? Choose one. Manungai, Tracy, Chase Brown. I'll go Chase Brown here. Manungai or Bam. That one, I actually probably will say Manungai just because Cincinnati's defense is absolutely awful. Stiffy. Why Devontae over Ibuka? I'm just about to trade Devontae and Tez for Ibuka. Yeah, I think the real reason I'm favoring Devontae Adams the rest of the season is because of his end zone usage. Like, he's got some of the highest target production in the red zone of any player in all of football. And, it was 2 weeks ago. He had 12 targets. 5 of them came in the end zone. I think it's just way more upside in my opinion. Start Kareem Hunt or Kenneth Walker. Boys, Kenneth Walker by a mile. He's just so much better of a runner. You know, Ken Walker's actually really interesting. It's his deeper analytics are pretty good again. It's just that they don't really use him correctly, and Seahawks like to give Zach Charbonnet all the red zone carries, so that's kind of the real issue for Kenny Walker. Bobby saying, would you trade BTJ and Kyron for JSN? Yeah, I would. I'll take JSN here. I'll take JSN. I mean, if it's Dynasty, Bobby, it's closer, but in redraft, I would do this. Yeah. 2 people to score on Sunday. Ooh, that's a good one. Charbonnet. Honestly, he's been getting crazy usage, and probably you're feeling pretty good about a Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown against Minnesota. They've been allowing a lot. I think that's where I'd go. I wouldn't be surprised if you took Kyle Monangai for a touchdown on Saturday too, or on Sunday. Sorry. Keyshawn Butte or Josh Downs? Give me Josh Downs here. I just think Josh Downs is a better separator. I'll take him in a PPR format. I got Brian saying Worthy or Bam Knight. Probably go Worthy, but I like Bam's upside, you know. Con, yo, what's up? I'm going to discuss my fantasy trades with women at a party I'm at. Hell yeah, Con. That, I'm sure, will go over fantastic for you. Mason saying Charbonnet or Debo. Probably go with Debo, but I do think Charbonnet's got solid touchdown upside for sure. I've got Nima asking, do I flex Gadsden or Brian Thomas Jr.? I'd go with Brian Thomas Jr. Especially Travis Hunter going to the IR now. Cameron, what's up, Cam? Should I add Kenneth Gainwell or try to keep Algier? No, I'd just keep Algier. I'd keep Algier. Mikey, what's up, Michael? Michael saying, is Hurts and Kittle for Genty, Dart, and Chargers tight end a bad trade? I don't think that's a bad trade. I mean, you're getting Ashton Genty back, and Arondre Gadsden's been very productive, so I think I'm fine with this deal, honestly. I mean, yeah, like, the Kittle and Hurts side is definitely solid, but Dart should get you 75% of the way with Hurts, just because of his rushing upside. You're getting Genty. Gadsden, probably, definitely a step down from George Kittle. I'm not giving you my buy-in on Gadsden, but I think Gadsden will be, capable. Would you trade a second for Dowdle/Sharb or Dobbins? Yeah, I'd take Charbonnet or Dobbins comfortably for a second-round pick, honestly. I'm not as interested in doing the Dowdle one, just because, I think here's the thing with Rico Dowdle, guys. I think if you were already a Rico Dowdle owner, sure, ride him out, right? You kind of lucked into it. You're getting production the rest of the season here. I don't think there's any issue with that. If you're going to go buy Rico Dowdle, what's your best case scenario in Dynasty? He ends up being the starter the rest of the season. Maybe he goes somewhere else next year and warrants a 50% touch split, but then he's back fighting for touches again on a different team because he's only on a 1-year deal this year. So it's what am I really getting out of Rico Dowdle by the end of it? A rental till the end of the season? I'd just rather take Dobbins or Sharp. At least I have runway there. I'd love to get Charbonnet for a second-round pick. There's a very good chance they don't pay Ken Walker this offseason, and Charbonnet is just the long-time starter in Seattle. Who would you choose out of these three? Choose two: Kyle Monangai, Chase Brown, and Travion Henderson. I'd probably be going Chase Brown and Monangai just because I haven't seen enough out of Henderson to make me confident here. I do think Monangai will get the large share of the workload this week. So, yeah, I'd probably go Monangai here. Wyatt saying Demo or Monangai. I think, again, you got to take Monangai. You got to take the starter here. He's just going to see more opportunities. Cam saying, I need a flex spot, Bam or Hunt. Out of the two, I'll go Bam. Here. I just like the matchup way better. Nick's in here saying London or Ladd this week. I think you got to lean London ever so slightly, but Ladd's been showing you a hell of a lot better production in the last few weeks here. Guys, if you're watching over on TikTok, go ahead and drop a follow so I can pin your comments here, make my chat a little bit easier. If you haven't already, come check it out over on YouTube or Twitch. Would be happy to see you guys across platforms here. I got Brian in here saying CMC and Devonta Smith for Puka overboard to ask. No, I don't think that's overboard to ask. I think that's fine. I think if you're giving up Puka, I need at least CMC. Devonta Smith as a throw-in isn't terrible. I got Wyatt in here saying at the flex, Diggs, Brian Thomas Jr., Demo, Travis Hunter out as well. Yeah, no, I know Travis Hunter's on IR now. I'm going to go with Brian Thomas Jr. for sure here. The Diggs would be a second. Monungai or Chase Brown. This one I'll still take Chase Brown, I reckon. I'm good with taking Chase Brown here. I got another Monungai's question. Monungai everywhere. Do I start Debo or Olave? This one I would go Olave. I think the matchup's harder for sure, but Olave's been getting solid target volume this season. He's actually going into last week was the most targeted player in all of football. It's pretty crazy. Zai, what's up? So should I start Debo or Olave? That's what I just said, brother. I just said Olave. Kai saying BTJ or Debo. This one's BTJ by a mile. BTJ by a mile. My brother, Arandre or Sam Laporta? I'm going to go Sam Laporta. I just haven't seen enough from Gadsden to just be like, oh, guaranteed he's a, must start every week of the season here. Like, he's definitely on a heater. I'm not denying that. He's giving you production for sure, but I think Laporta's safer. This one, too, like Monungai or Kraft. Dude, I think the offense in Green Bay rolls through Tucker Kraft and Josh Jacobs. Like, I'd be playing Tucker Kraft every single week comfortably. Ryan says, does Olave fall off with Shuck? Very possibly. Very possibly. I mean, here's the positive, right? From what I got to watch of Tyler Shuck last week, he was targeting Olave a ton. And, again, they did get the ball to him, I think, 3 or 4 times after he took over. Now, here's the other issue. A lot of those were like 2-yard curl routes out in the flat, and Olave was getting 0 yardage out of it. So, yeah, it doesn't make me wildly excited for Olave's downfield production with Tyler playing, but at the same time, does it guarantee him the same amount of targets? Probably. So it's probably somewhere in the middle here, All right, guys, if you're over on TikTok watching and not on the purple app or the red app, please make sure you're following so I can pin your comments and answer you guys' questions here. If you haven't checked me out across platforms, chat experience is going to be a little bit better, so consider hopping on over and checking me out on one of those too. But we got Dow saying, should I do Dowdle and Tet for Cook? I'd take Cook here. Yeah, like I love Tet for sure, but I do think that this is a really fair deal, and I view Dowdle as a pretty middle-of-the-road RB2 rental here. I got Higgins or Debo. Probably still going to lean Higgins. The Joe Flacco revolution's done a lot in my mind for that team. Got Jackson Dart or JD5. I think you probably got to go JD5 just to be safe, but I like the rushing upside I'm seeing out of Dart on a weekly basis. We've got Vidal or Monungai. I'm probably going to go with Vidal here. I've got Michael Lambert. Good to see you, Michael. Been a while, man. Thoughts on Dowdle, worth a buy? Yeah, you kind of just missed me saying this, but I'll repeat it because I love you, Mike. Dowdle's just not a guy I'm buying. Like, if I already had him, I'm fine stashing him or flipping him for a profit or using him, as a spot start running back for depth for the rest of the season because you're lucky enough to already be the owner. Like, I think if I'm buying him, especially in Dynasty, it just doesn't make sense for me. I don't know what your best case scenario out of Rico Dowdle is, but fine, you get an RB2 for the rest of the season. What after that? He doesn't have a contract. He's going to be 28 years old. Like, fine, maybe he signs somewhere else. Then what's your best case scenario then? He's splitting touches on a different team where he's got to have breakout 40-plus point performances just to get, the respect of the coach again. And it's like, well, that probably doesn't happen twice, right? So good luck, my man. Thank you. I can't wait to see your costumes. Yes, sir. All right, Forever Young's out here saying, should I risk Murray or CJ Stroud? I'd just play CJ Stroud, honestly. Like, I think Kyler Murray is going to play. They have been talking about him being on track to play, but at the same time, I just never really risk it with those guys. I don't want to get caught with a 0 on my roster. Now, if you have Jacoby Brissett on your roster and you can take the risk of just holding both of them all the way up till kickoff time, that's a different story, All right, I got Brian in here saying, the guy is in Jigba, so I feel like he would want a 2 powerhouse wide receiver. Yeah, that's fair. Thoughts on Woody Marks long term? Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, Woody Marks, like, you guys have heard me talk about him before. From a dynasty perspective, like, he's a fine receiving back with, like, some decent upside as, like, a flex play down the stretch. I just think, like, he's just not a guy I'm interested in buying and holding in dynasty. He's already 24. Texans need to figure out their offensive line this offseason. They didn't draft him like super high up, so they're not, wildly committed to him. There's definitely a good chance that they draft a more pure runner or end up signing one of these ton of running backs in free agency this year. Like, you guys forget that there's going to be good guys like Tyler Algier. He's going to be a free agent. And what if they cut Ramondre Stevenson and he's available and, go with Travion Henderson? Like, Breece Hall is a free agent. Ken Walker's a free agent. Like, there's tons of guys that are going to be free agents. So I personally think, like, rather than putting all my eggs in the basket that, Woody Marks retains the role and somehow becomes a stud runner, which he isn't. He's more of a receiving threat. Like, I'd rather just print my liquidity for him, take the picks, take another player, transition him into a wide receiver, just re-roll. Like, could I go get Troy Franklin? I'd way rather have a 22-year-old wide receiver with way more upside, personally. That's what I'd do right now. We got Kamani Vidal or Manungai. I did say Vidal. I'm going to hold Vidal here. Dose, thanks for the follow, man. If you guys are watching over on TikTok, make sure you're following so I can pin these comments up for me, all right? I got Marcio asking Troy Franklin or Trey Tucker. I'll go Trey Franklin here. I like Troy Franklin a lot. Great upside. Connor saying, should I take Garrett Wilson and Chase Brown for Genty and Worthy? Oh, yeah. Take Garrett Wilson here. Garrett Wilson comfortably. Yeah. Shimano. Shimano. Saying Jalen Warren or Manungai. This one I'll go Jalen Warren. Think Spears will ever stay healthy? I'm no doctor. I can't really give my 2 cents on this one too crazily, but normally guys that struggle with injuries early on in their career don't get better over time. You only get older and more injury prone. So I'd say it's definitely not something I'm like wildly excited about. This is like a lot of the questions I've been getting recently. Like, what do we think about Christian Watson? Like, do we think Christian Watson's going to be fantasy relevant now and whatever? And I'm like, well, seeing Christian Watson's track record of not being able to stay healthy ever and playing, 14 games his first year and then 9 and 15. But, he's too boom busts. Like, one season he'll be there, one season he won't. He's already 26. That's not a dynasty asset I'm buying, really. Marcio saying Troy Franklin, Trey Tucker. I said Troy Franklin, brother. James Cook or for Josh Jacobs and Bucky Irving. Oh, I'll take the package. I think there's a decent chance Josh Jacobs outscores James Cook the rest of the season anyway. So you're just getting extra. What a username this is. Raw randoms. What's up, Raw Dog? He's asking about Jordan Love or Justin Herbert. I'm probably gonna take Justin Herbert here. That's funny though. You got to laugh at me if it's any consolation. Let's see. We got Brian in here saying, I was trying to go for McBride. I was given Worthy and Goddard. Is that a good one? No, yeah, dude. If you can get McBride for Worthy and Goddard, that's a great trade. JD or Dak this weekend? I'll play Dak. Yeah, I'll take Dak Prescott here pretty comfortably. You guys want to watch me make some live trades since we got a little bit of a slow chat right now? Let's see. Here we go. Just responding to people saying, no, I'm not taking your trades. And if you want to make a trade, you got to offer me a good one. I was offered Hall and Ladd for JSN. That's going to be a no. I'll just hold JSN here. Love of Matthew. Oh, Love or Matthew. Matthew Stafford. I'm going to go Jordan Love there. Yeah, there are people in my league who hate Worthy, don't want nothing to do with him. Interesting. I like Xavier Worthy as a dynasty buy. Trade Ibuka, Etienne, and Addison for Jefferson and Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, I'm taking the Jefferson and BTJ side every day of the week and twice on Sunday here. Like, Ibuka was grossly overperforming to start the season, so you're definitely getting way better there. All right, Jennings or Diggs. Let's see. I got Stephon Diggs. Thoughts on Henderson? I'm guessing this is a Travion Henderson question. Yeah, man, I think Travion Henderson, it's just frustrating to watch what Mike Vrabel is doing, right? Like, Mike Vrabel just doesn't want to use him, and I don't know why. I can't exactly understand why. But unfortunately, it's just not been exactly the usage we were hoping from a guy with incredible talent prospect. So I think, I would expect Travion Henderson to have a second half breakout here. I mean, everything's fallen his way, right? Antonio Gibson gets hurt. Ramondre Stevenson's getting hurt. Like, they have every reason now to use, Travion Henderson. But again, it's just like, for some reason, they don't want to. And I'm dumbfounded by it because I love Travion Henderson. I thought he was one of the best prospects in this class. Travion Henderson or Kyle Monangai? See, that's the thing, is like, I'm probably going to have to tell you to play Monangai just because I haven't seen the coaching staff give Travion Henderson a good set of opportunities. It's like, Monangai at least has been getting more of a touch split, and I don't know. I think you should look to trade for him, not trade him away, Bobby. If you trade him away, you're losing a ton of value based off where you drafted him. James Graham says, would people trade Waddle and Diggs in a first and a second for Rice? Yeah, I would do this. I think what this boils down to is, Jalen Waddle in a first for Rice. I know there's Diggs in a second in here, but that doesn't move the needle too much for me. I would do this deal for Rice. I agree this is a lot personally, but I'd do it for Rice. I think the interesting thing, though, is just like, if you were to shop this package, could you get Garrett Wilson? Could you get Ladd McConkey for this value? Could you buy low on Brian Thomas Jr. with this value? Could I get Drake London on the buy low for this value? I'd rather do any of those things than buy Rashee Rice here. That's just one thing I'm saying. All right, I got a Dak or Dart. I think I'm going to go Dak here, brother. Go Dak, Jalen Warren for Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, you're taking Brian Thomas Jr. every day of the week and twice on Sunday, Cole. Please take BTJ here. Derek is saying Bam Knight, Kamara, or Woody PPR. Probably going to lean Bam. What's it take to get Jalen Warren? I bought Jalen Warren the other day. It's a second and a third, I think, to get Jalen Warren. Second and a third. Michael Lambert saying Henderson and Addison for Rice. Yeah, I'll take Rice here. I just think, like, honestly, guys, I'm pretty sure Rashee Rice is going to be a second-round startup pick next year for Superflex. K9 or Quentin Johnston? I'll take Ken Walker here comfortably, pretty comfortably. Daniel or Dart? Now, if this is Daniel Jones, I'll probably go Jackson Dart. If it's Jaden Daniels, I think you probably just gotta play Jaden. Okay, we got what would you need to trade Jay Jettis away? Well, I actually traded for Jay Jettis earlier this week, and I can tell you the package I gave up so that, like, this guy could probably, like, tell you, oh yeah, this is what a fair value is. I traded away Garrett Wilson, Kenny Walker, and I believe it was a second-round pick. Let's see. Review, trade history. It was this one. This one. Where is it? Okay. No, that's not it. Trade review. Why can't I see trade history? Completed. There we go. All right. This one was between me and Swaggy right here. Okay. I sent away Garrett Wilson, Kenny Walker, Terrence Ferguson, and a fourth-round pick. And in return, I got Jacoby Myers, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Warren, and a third-round pick. So That's kind of where I'm at with everything. That's what I think you would need to do to get Justin Jefferson, if it helps. All right. Michael Lambert saying thoughts on the upcoming draft class. Yeah, of course, man. I was talking about this earlier on a podcast that I was filming. You guys should have it on my YouTube channel in the next couple days. So if you're not already subscribed over there, you'll get access to my long form Dynasty content there. Let's see. Is just saying. I was saying that I think this is a really underrated class. Like, I think there's going to be a ton of studs just like there were this year, and just because people aren't talking about them as much right out the gate here, I'd be trying to accumulate as much as literally as much of the 26 class as I can. I think a strong wide receiver class, a lot of sneaky guys I really like Lemon and Boston, and I think they're going to be very, heavy wide receiver class that could be a lot of gems in there. I think outside of that, you got some decent quarterback options from a super flex position. Like, might be looking at Sellers here or Montezuma or just some interesting options. So I could definitely see solid quarterbacks and solid wide receivers in this class. Now, the running backs outside of Jeremiah Love and Jonah Coleman, probably like nobody crazy standing out to me right out of the gate here, but I think over time, there'll be plenty of guys I'm super interested in this class, and I haven't done as much research as I'd want to so far, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm in the thick of it right now. Ruben is saying, would you trade A.J. Brown and Tracy for Olave and Dobbins? Yeah. In Dynasty, yeah. In redraft, probably not. That guy with A.J. Brown is not budging. Budging on what, Brian? What did you send him? Oh, he wanted me to do Puka for A.J. Brown and Henderson. Is this Dynasty or redraft, Bri? Michael says, I traded Justin Jefferson in a late second for Neighbors in a mid-first. Yeah, that's a huge W. This is a trade that I don't think gets done anymore. Like, I think the consensus on Malik Neighbors has just gone too high. We got Manungai or Bam. I'll probably be going with Manungai here. Ferguson or Brian Thomas Jr. I'll go BTJ here. I'll go BTJ. Ferguson or Brian Thomas Jr. I got that one. Let's see. DeAndre Swift for Jalen Warren. Pretty even. I'd probably take Jalen Warren here. Take Jalen Warren. Lamar and Pickens 4 for Daniel Jones and Puka. Yeah, I'll take the Puka side here. I'll take the Puka side. Alex is saying start 2. Tracy, Manungai, Dowdle, or Bam Knight. Probably going to go with Manungai and Dowdle here. Let's see. Start 2. Pittman, Adunze, Vidal. I'll go with Pittman and Adunze here. MD3, what's up? Michael saying, any tips for quicker get backs versus rebuilds? Sorry, what are you saying here, Michael? Are you like quicker get backs? Say get backs differently. Like, are you talking like how to retool quicker than rebuild, or what? Oh, quicker retools. Yeah, honestly, man, I think I always say this, and I'm a big retool guy. Like, the way to avoid rebuilding is by splitting assets. So, like, if you get a guy that spikes in value, split him for other guys that you like. So, like, a good example would be, like, if you're an Arondre Gadsden holder right now, then, like, in Dynasty, this is your perfect chance to split the asset, So, like, immediately, rather than take all the risk and hold Gadsden and hope he pans out to be what people think he is right now, then I would be flipping him and splitting him into other assets. So if I could flip Gadsden for, who's a good example? A Zach Charbonnet, like Gadsden in a second for Charbonnet if it's a tight end premium for, Charbonnet and a young wide receiver. Like, I would do that deal, right? So I think you got to just, like, a Jaden Higgins, Like, I think you got to just do stuff like that too, and maybe that's giving up too much value in a tight end premium. Sorry, I'm tired, man. All I'm saying is, yes, I would be splitting your assets, right? Like, a good example would be Jalen Hurts, right? Like, if I have Jalen Hurts, let's split it into Brock Purdy and Rashee Rice, right? Like, that's how you avoid a rebuild. If you are lucky enough to luck into a young stud quarterback, like right now, a good example would be Jackson Dart, right? You drafted Jackson Dart probably at like the 112, the 201. You're sitting on a bunch of extra liquidity because people are super hyped on him. Well, boom, let's flip Jackson, like, because people will pay for a young running quarterback. Flip Jackson Dart into Dak Prescott in the first. Boom, I'm good. Because, like, you're only playing Dynasty in 3-year windows anyway. So you're getting another quarterback, and then you're getting extra liquidity. Like, same thing. George Kittle, if someone's willing to pay a bunch for George Kittle right now, you flip George Kittle down into a Jake Ferguson plus, or a AJ Barner plus a lot, right? And then you just kind of roll along. Like, it's all about just taking the opportunity to tear down when it happens and not getting too attached. Like, don't get too attached to your players, man. I watch all these guys get like, oh no, that's my guy. I drafted him. He's my guy. He's not your guy. Like, millions of people own these players in fantasy football. He's just a guy. Flip him. Take your profits. Cactus Jack, what's up? He says, trading all my first rounds because I'm not playing next year and they don't know that. Oh no, you're blowing up the league. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're ruining the league for everybody. Start to Chase Brown, Manungai, and Vidal. Also, Cactus Jack, you're lucky, man. I in all my listener leagues and any league I play in, I have a very strict policy that anytime you trade a future like pick, you have to pay into that year, like before the trade gets processed. So that's why how I avoid it. Yeah, PJ's in the chat saying, yeah, are they not making you pay ahead? See, that's what I do too. Dylan Wallace is saying, start two, Chase Brown, Manungai, Vidal. Yeah, I'll go Chase Brown, and I'll probably go Vidal here. Yeah, I got to pay ahead. I agree. Thoughts on Rice? Adam's asking me. I mean, dude, I think Rice is going to be like a, second-round startup pick in Dynasty Superflex next year. I think it's going to be very, very hard to acquire Rice. So, if you can get him now, this is the chance. But also, I'm looking at Rashee Rice as a potential sell candidate. Like, I think people are going to be so high on him. Like, could you tear down from Rashee Rice and get a Dunze in a first? Like, I would do that deal in a heartbeat, personally. Meso saying Brian Thomas Jr. for Warren. No, give me Brian Thomas Jr. Guys, if you're watching over on TikTok here, make sure you're following so I can pin your comments. Appreciate you. I've got Murray saying, user 57 saying Murray's out. No, he just isn't practicing right now. They did say they were expecting him to play, so I think until you see otherwise, you got to hope that he's going to play, but you don't know. Start Brian Thomas Jr. or Sutton. Look, Sutton's got a tough matchup against Derek Stingley this week, assuming he shadows him, so I'd probably go Brian Thomas Jr. here. Leroy saying start Vidal, Keenan Allen, or Wandale at the flex. I'm probably going to go with Vidal here. Safest bet. PJ, thanks for the follow, man. If you guys are watching on TikTok, make sure you're following so I can pin your comments, huh? I got Balrog saying, I just traded JMO and Charbonnet for Flowers. I like this deal. JMO doesn't really mean anything to me. I I got Matt Bryan saying 8-0, win now. Just got Amon-Ra Debo for Neighbors Ramondre. This is totally fine. Like, I know everyone's crazy high on Malik Neighbors. I like that too, but I love Ramondre. I love Amon-Ra. So I think Amon-Ra and Neighbors are in the same range for me. Michael Walsh chiming in. What's up, my man? Hope you're doing well on a Friday. He says, Hunter is on IR. Brian Thomas Jr. will eat. Couldn't agree more. I think you got to start plugging and playing Brian Thomas every single week. Jackson Barber out here. What's up, Jax? Says Trey Tucker or McBride. Oh, this is probably Tucker Kraft. Brother, you got to be playing both. Like, I know people have all this stigma and prejudice against playing 2 tight ends. I don't know why. It's because it's probably not the sexy thing to do. I have zero issue playing multiple tight ends. Brian's asking how bad the Ramondre injury is. Not entirely sure. I know he's ruled out for this week, but there's a chance he'll be back next week. I got Rachel in here saying Packers or Chargers defense this week. Probably going to be going with the Packers defense. I've got Fergalicious Def. Makes the boys go loco. Is saying Kittle and Javonte Williams for Warren and Bucky Irving. I'm going to take the Kittle and Javonte Williams side here, I think. Is this Jalen Warren or Tyler Warren? If it's Tyler Warren, give me Tyler and Bucky Irving. If it's Jalen Warren, I'll just keep Kittle. Yeah, hard for me to tell between those. I got D in here. Guys, if you're one of the Dynasty players in the chat and you're asking Dynasty questions, I really hope you're already in the Discord. We got a Dynasty Trade Center and Dynasty discussion page. We're talking Dynasty all year long. If you're not already, please hop on over to the Discord. It's totally free. It's pinned on my website, on my profile. Yeah, would love to see you guys in there. But we got, or if you're having a hard time with the website, just send me a direct message that says Discord. I'll send you an invite link. But D says, I just traded Rome, Amari, and Horton in a second for Amika and Judkins. Man, this is a haul. Traded Rome, Amari, and Hampton, Horton in a second. Honestly, man, I don't like this deal. Like, I got Rome and Amika in the same range. I actually think Rome's a better receiver. And Judkins and Hampton are about the same for me. So you kind of just gave up like a free Torrey Horton in a second, and I prefer Rome. I mean, this is all going to be like how people see it, right? There's some people that are like, oh, Amika's the truth. He's going to be the next best wide receiver we've seen. Yeah, based off the first 5 weeks of the season, you would have thought that, but he's put up 3 single-digit performances in a row without Mike Evans, and, you know, a lot of his early season stats were really touchdown inflated. Like, personally, like I said, again, this is just me here, but as a prospect profile, scouting out of college, I think Rome Odunze is far better. Like, he's better high pointer of the ball. He's a bit more athletic. Like, I think he has better ball tracking. I like Rome. But, you know, that's just me. Send a trade to, I'll see what he's a big 49ers fan, so he might not give up CMC. Yeah, if he's a Niners fan, you're probably having some trouble there. I see Brandon in here saying, I have Baker, Ladd, Drake London, J. Jettis, Judkins, Cook, Kelsey, Packers D. Yeah, good team. Good team. No issue with that. Frank says, who would you target in a trade using Amari and Hampton? Well, are we talking Dynasty or redraft? If it's Dynasty, I don't want to be giving up Amari and Hampton. If it's redraft, then if you need wide receivers, maybe you could flip Amari and Hampton for a Garrett Wilson, Ladd McConkey, someone like that. Xavier says, start Josh Allen or Danny Dimes. You're always starting Josh Allen, dude. The rushing upside, the fact that he's never finished below QB2 in the last 5 years, like, I don't need to give you that big of a why to start Josh Allen, the MVP. Booster Fuel is saying DK for Genty. Yeah, I'll take Genty, dude. I'll take the running back here in a half-point PPR. If you guys are watching over on TikTok, make sure you're following here. I can pin your comments up. Thank you, Joe. Jesse and Brandy says Vidal, Kyle Williams, or Dowdle start 2. Give me Vidal. Oh, this is probably Kyron Williams. Give me Vidal and Kyron Williams then. Yeah, I know he's got a good matchup, but matchups don't mean everything to me. Like, I always say matchups are like gravy, you know? Like, I still want to start my studs, but, like, if there's a good matchup, I'll consider, changing my opinion. Like, matchup, okay, let me put it this way. Matchup should be your determining factor between starting two guys you're stuck on. So a good example would be like, oh, I'm really torn. Should I play Xavier Worthy or Jordan Addison? Well, in a vacuum, like those two guys are both wide receiver 2s with upside. Yeah, like that's a time I would consider matchup. Should I play Zach Charbonnet or Kyle Monungai? Like those are guys, sure, like matchup, right? Should I play Jahmyr Gibbs or Saquon Barkley? Fine. Then we can talk about matchup. But we're talking about, like, I'm not making decisions on between Josh Allen and Daniel Jones in matchup. Like those guys aren't in the same category. Chris, what's up? Chris is over on YouTube saying, Dynasty, would you rather have Pickens or Bucky? Oh, Bucky. Looking to get a running back and move off Pickens? Yeah, dude, give me Bucky by a mile. I think, like, here's the thing. Like, George Pickens still doesn't have a contract. Jerry Jones is cheap as fuck. Don't know if he's going to pay him or not. Secondly, he's been known to have locker room issues. Now it looks like this might be scratched, or, hopefully that's like a washed thing and it's not a thing anymore. But you never know when those kind of things can arise with these, players that some of them are head cases. Outside of that, like, he's a wide receiver 2, flourishing on a massively high-powered offense right now that has the 32nd ranked overall defense. So, like, in Dallas, you have to throw the ball a million times a game just to, even stay competitive. But, like, what if George Pickens doesn't get paid by Dallas and next year he goes to the Seahawks? The Seahawks are throwing the ball at the 30th rate in the league right now. And JSN's eating because he's the most efficient player of all time. But, like, what's Cooper Kupp done for you this season? Nothing. And it's not like something I'm saying, George Pickens and Cooper Kupp are the same. Yeah, George Pickens is probably a lot more athletic these days. But I'm telling you, as a Seahawks fan who watches a ton of tape and even does film breakdown every week, like, Cooper Kupp is not washed at all. Like, if you go and watch some of the tape breakdown, you watch Cooper Kupp play, he's playing very well. He's drawing coverage. He's creating separation. Like, from fantasy, he's not doing anything for you. So, yeah, I could understand you being like, yeah, Cooper Kupp means nothing to me anymore. Sure, from a fantasy perspective, sure, but like a real-life wide receiver, Cooper Kupp's playing great, So, like, I think that just shows you what efficiency means in an offense, right? Yo, Jesse and Brandy saying I love the Seahawks. Right on. I'm a diehard Seahawks fan, born and raised Seattle, Washington. Love me some Seahawks, baby. Philly Peg saying traded Rico and Hurts for Tyler Warren and Dak. I had Ingram, JT, and Bijan. Yeah, I'm good with this. Give me Tyler Warren every day of the week here. Do you put Kraft over Pickens in the flex? Yeah, I probably would. I think Kraft is like wide receiver 1 on the Packers, so take that how you would. Yo, Medium Beast is back for more. He was in the Discord chat yesterday. Now he's over here in the TikTok chat. You love to see it, bro. What would you do about Jay Jettis, a 26 late third for Golden, Metcalf, 26 late first, and 3 late seconds? No. See, like, here's the thing. Like, you got a bunch of kind of garbage on that side. Like, oh, I'm getting a late, I'm getting a late first. I'm getting a bunch of late seconds and DK. It's just not enough, dude. Like, if I'm moving off Justin Jefferson, I want to keep it really succinct and really focused. Like, give me Garrett Wilson and a first, like give me like Justin Jefferson and Jalen Warren. Give me Garrett Wilson, Ken Walker, and a first, right? Now I got the upside of Ken Walker being a starting back for this next several years after he signs a Kyron or James Cook type deal this offseason. I'm getting Garrett Wilson, who's a tiny bit of a step down, but not really hyper efficient target hog, also on contract, locked up by the Jets for the future. And then fine, I had to throw in Jalen Warren, who's, on the last year of his deal anyway, so I'm not really worried about it. And I know everyone's going to be like, he's not on the last year of his deal. He signed a 2-year. Yeah, but they have a void year, so I don't really have to pay him if they don't want to. Tyler over on YouTube, what's up, man? He says, I have a Dynasty trade question for you. I got offered to trade away Amon-Ra St. Brown for Drake May, George Pickens, and Woody Marks. Here's a question, Tyler. Is this a super flex league? and like what does your wide receiver room look like? Because honestly, if it's a super flex league, I'm probably taking Drake May at this point. Like I do think Drake May is probably going to go as like the 103 to 106 in a startup next year. So like you're probably getting a tier up on Amon-Ra here, and you're still getting George Pickens kicked back to you. So if it's super flex, I'm doing this. If it's not a super flex league, then I'm probably holding St. Brown. I got hard thumping over on Twitch. Look, we're jumping between platforms, guys. It says Dynasty question for you. Do I give Garrett Wilson, Travion Henderson in a 27 first? I get Saquon Sharps and Trey McBride. This is an interesting one because I think this is really format dependent, hard thumping. Like, are you in a tight end premium league? How many do you start every week on a weekly basis? Like, for me in a vacuum, when I see Garrett Wilson, Travion in a first, I say no. I see that's a lot to give up. Now, if you're an ultimate contending roster right now and you already have Amon-Ra and JSN and, Devontae Adams and you've got a good squad already, then, and there's a tight end premium, then I'd look at it and say, oh, well, I'm getting Trey McBride in a tight end premium and I need Saquon to win right now and I already have solid receivers. Then yeah, I would do this deal, but I think this is very format and team dependent. Hard thumping, are you in the Discord already, man? If you're not in the Discord, go to my website right now, dynastypricecheck.com. Literally just my username with a .com on the end of it. There's a homepage that's on the homepage and it just says join free Discord, like a big button. Go ahead and click that and get in the Discord. Tag me in the Dynasty discussion channel, like with your team, and ask this question again. And let me be able to evaluate based off your roster settings. Like if you can go in there and be like, yeah, it's a 12-team Superflex PPR start 11 tight end premium 1.75. Like give me the info. Tyler says no. It is currently not a Superflex league. Currently, I have JJ McCarthy, Justin Fields. My wide receiver room is Amon-Ra, DK, T Higgins, Michael Pittman, Jordan Addison. No, I'm not doing this then. If it's a single QB league, I'm just not doing it because then that leaves you with Pickens and DK. You're just rolling with a bunch of wide receiver twos. Like you have no true hammer on this team. Like if anything, man, like you are wide receiver heavy. I don't think you need T Higgins on this team at all. Like you have Michael Pittman, DK, Amon-Ra, and Jordan Addison. Like T Higgins is a clear trade candidate to me. There's no reason why you can't use T Higgins to go get Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Trevor Lawrence, go get, Brock Purdy. Like, you should be able to trade that wide receiver in a one quarterback league for a quarterback pretty easily, to be frank. All right, I got PJ over here saying, Dynasty Superflex 1, I need a QB upgrade. Trade Tua, a late first and an early second for Herbert. Yeah, money. Like Tua means next to nothing for me here, to be completely frank with you. So I think if you're getting Justin Herbert back, this is basically like giving away a late first and an early second. And I think that's a steal to get Justin Herbert. I mean, I hate to be this guy, but there's a very good chance that, there's a very, very good chance that Tua means absolutely nothing in terms of Dynasty next offseason. I've got Hunt or Bam. I'll play Bam Knight this week, bro. Play Bam Knight. Start Manungai, Shakir, and Gadsden. Let's see. I'll go Shakir and Manungai here, unless there's a tight end premium. Pick 2, Henderson, Etienne, and Vidal. Probably just going to play Vidal and Etienne. I know what their workload's going to be. Like, here's the thing is, like, yes, I know Ramondre Stevenson's out. I'm following fantasy football news like you guys are. But, like, at the same time, I think I just look at it from the perspective of, okay, well, I haven't seen what Travion Henderson is going to do yet because I don't know how Mike Vrabel is going to use him. Even with Ramondre Stevenson out, it seems like, Antonio Gibson went out and they didn't want to do anything with him. So at least I know Vidal's getting the workload. Etienne's the RB1 in Jacksonville. Like, I know what I'm getting out of this, All right, Spence is in here. What's up, Spence? Would you trade Bam and Manungai for Vidal? No, I wouldn't. I mean, is this Dynasty? Is it redraft? Like, what are we doing here? I guess you said redraft. Yeah, fine. I'll do this in redraft. Yeah, I'll do this in redraft. I thought this was a Dynasty question. I've been talking so much Dynasty today. I got Bam or Dowdle. Probably lean Dowdle. He's just a better running back. Do I flex Moore or Myers? I'd be flexing Myers if it's me. I think the Raiders are going to try to come out and make something happen here. I got Reed or Coleman rest of the season. It's going to be Reed. Keon Coleman doesn't do anything. Keon Coleman is unfortunately just kind of nothing. He's a whole lot of nothing. Would you trade Amon-Ra, Etienne, and BTJ for Bucky and Ibuka? I need running back help. I have JSN, Bill. No. You're just giving up way too much, dude. You're giving Amon-Ra, Etienne, and BTJ? Are you giving up the... Well, no. Are you getting Amon-Ra? What are you getting here? I want the Amon-Ra side of this trade, so I don't know how you worded that, but I want the Amon-Ra side. Jack is saying Hunt, Etienne, Manungai, pick 2. Probably going to go with Etienne and Manungai here. Dom saying Dowdle, Chase Brown, Bam Knight, pick 2. I'll go Chase Brown and Dowdle here. Just better players. All right, guys, I know I didn't go for too long tonight, only an hour tonight, but honestly, I'm exhausted. My throat's killing me, and I've been streaming twice a day, every day for you guys. Did a members-only stream earlier, so if you're not already a member of the Discord, you want a chance to talk to me one-on-one, it's going to be your best place to find me, is totally free on the Discord. If you have not checked me out across platforms, please hop over to the YouTube and take a watch of the Dynasty Trade Titan show that we posted this week. We're doing a new trade show, pulling your guys' trades from the Discord. Something I'm really excited about, putting all my effort into. So hopefully that helps you guys make a lot of informed trades on the Dynasty front. And if you want to get a chance to be featured on the show, hop on in that Discord and post them in there. I got Owen saying Jamar and Judkins for Jacobs and Amon-Ra. This one, I'll just take the Jamar side. Bobby says, would you trade Dobbins, Charbonnet, or Warren? In Dynasty, out of this group, I'd rather have Charbonnet the most, from a retooling perspective. If I'm literally in Ultimate Win now, then I'll take J.K. Dobbins here. He's rushing for really consistent production, but I would be going with Charbonnet long term. K-Don, what's up, bro? Good to see you again back in here. Got to talk to him real nice today. Says, this dude knows ball. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I got Barcode over on Twitch saying I'm here. I'm starting this week, or I'm starting Tracy this week, which feels obvious, but with Pacheco being out, am I possibly looking to start Hunt? No, I think you just play Tyrone Tracy here. All right, guys. Appreciate you coming through. As always, appreciate your support. The voice is completely beat. I'm going to have to rest here. But I will see you again tomorrow for a double stream Saturday. Hopefully everyone has a super, super great Halloween and is safe out there. If you're not already a follower, please go ahead, drop a follow. Help me grow out here. Check my videos out across platform. Hop over to the YouTube. Check out the Dynasty Trade Show. Interact. Drop a like and comment on the video. It'd mean a ton for me. Outside of that, thank you guys so much for coming through. I'll be back streaming again tomorrow, answering more of your fantasy football questions, and be happy to help you guys as much as I can. Everybody be safe on Halloween. Take care of yourselves. Bless you, and be kind to those around you. Cheers.